So, hopefully.
This is fun.
This is fun.
I can't believe. Yay!
So we'll see. You look nice, by the way.
Thanks. It's been a wild week. We actually had a death in the family on Monday. She was like a mother figure to us.
Yeah.
Mostly to Zach growing up, and then I kind of married into the relationship. And then like a grandma to our kids. She had an aneurysm. So we are all kind of recovering from that. It's just been a weird week.
Well, that's heavy. How old was she?
I think mid-60s, 65-ish.
Ugh.
So, yep.
Aneurysms run in the family?
I didn't even know aneurysms could run in a family.
Oh, they do. They run in our family. So if you have a history of autoimmune,
yes,
you're more likely to have aneurysms. Because the connective tissue is so stretchy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So my mom has an aneurysm in her heart.
Oh, she already knows.
Oh yeah, she knows it. 2 of my uncles have had aneurysm surgeries.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we
in similar areas or different?
No,
all
abdominal.
different.
Yeah,
Abdominal.
all different areas.
I've heard of individuals with abdominal aneurysms having surgery.
Yeah,
and
a lot of times you find them like doing imaging of the back because of back pain. So not directly looking for them.
Sure.
My mom's they found because she was having heart palpitations. So yeah, they monitor every year to see if it's growing. Wow. But the brain stuff, that's weird because a lot of times with migraines you don't, unless the doctor runs imaging, you don't pick up on that.
Right.
And they're fast.
Yeah. Craziest is she finished her sentence and then just fell over. That was it.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Which I'm thinking if I have to die,
that's the way to go.
Lights out.
Yeah.
Done.
Fast.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Thank God she had that strong faith.
I agree.
And
everybody agrees.
It's a huge blessing that she put God first, right?
It is.
Despite all of that.
Always has.
And
her
you got to
husband's
see
the
her,
same.
too.
I know, isn't that... I mean,
that's
what?
a God wink. Yeah.
I know, I've heard of...
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
Anybody who I don't tell a lot of people that little story, but anybody I've told, they're like, he gave you that.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm like,
a
that's
gift.
true. That's true.
Wow. Yeah, if I have to choose the way that I'm going to go, that's probably one of my
I know.
top ways. Just overnight. Or in my sleep, or just fast.
Yeah.
Just
I don't know
fast.
that we get to choose.
I know. I know. That's up to the big guy.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so how's your week been?
It's been good. It's been good. Clinic's been very busy.
It's good.
It's good. It's a blessing. Teaching's been going well. So, just hectic.
Mm-hmm.
Hectic finding that new home-work balance.
Yes.
So, everyone's adjusting. One of my patients, so fun little like pearls that I pick up from my patients, he actually has Parkinson's, and I've seen him for quite a few years. He mentioned that prior to his diagnosis, he actually had a little mini stroke. And he believed, he did the research himself, that it was caused by erythritol. Yeah. He used a sweetener that was cut with erythritol.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I haven't heard of that. So I got home Tuesday night and I looked, and there's some studies that have come out last year that shows erythritol can cause blood clots, which of course can cause strokes and heart attacks. So why are we not talking about this?
And then how many different things now have that as an ingredient, as a sweetener alternative?
Because it's a healthier, right? So we always talk about that good, better, and best.
Yes.
So it's a sugar alcohol. So there's xylitol that they use for the teeth because it's supposed to prevent dental caries, erythritol, and mannitol. We've known for years that the worst things that they can do, supposedly, is cause GI upset because they're sugar alcohols, so they can ferment.
Yeah.
But this is huge.
That is huge.
And then so what limits it, and the other sugar alcohols don't, like mannitol or xylitol, right?
Yeah. I can't even imagine the difference.
Yeah. Huge.
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
Oh my gosh.
Which is why I love practicing and teaching, because I pick up so much from everybody else.
I like how you said that. A pearl from one of my patients. I like that.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, no, I researched it and I read about that. I'm like, are you sure it's not like, a neurotoxin or something? He's like, no, it was erythritol. I'm like, okay. He was right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I haven't seen that in any of the journals I read, any of the, cliff notes, medical cliff notes that I get.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
You read medical journals, and I read fiction.
I don't get a whole lot of time to read, so I gotta read the cliff notes.
Yeah.
At least on
I get that. Yeah. I listen to audiobooks.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing lately. Audiobooks, podcasts.
Yep.
That's about it.
Top podcasts for you.
I'm still hooked on that Ambio podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to prepare mentally to go down there in January. So I'm trying to gain as much information from them now as I can.
Yep.
It's interesting because they have you meet with a health coach.
Good.
And do mental health training before you go down there. So that's the top one. And Rogan.
I know. The best.
The best.
I think what I love about Rogan, I've decided, is I feel like I could go talk to him right now and he would treat me the same way as he treats any podcast guest.
Yes.
And I think that's what's cool about podcasts in general, the good ones.
Yes.
It feels like an open dialogue. It's not like an interview,
right,
necessarily. It's
right.
more of a conversation back and forth. I don't know. It captivates me.
Yeah. Yeah, my husband turned me on to him years ago, and then Sean Ryan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw last night, Sean Ryan is #1 in the world with podcasting.
I feel like he and Joe Rogan
Yeah.
go back to back.
Yes.
Don't they rotate a little? Like who's the number
well,
one?
Yeah, this is the first time that Sean Ryan's been #1.
Oh, it is?
But he was
Okay.
just on Rogan.
Yes.
So
I'm sure that helped.
That probably helped. But yeah, they're so similar. So yeah, both those guys are fantastic.
Yep.
What about you? What are you listening to?
Mine's often an escape. It's not like you for, research or medical, interest. Although I do listen to similar podcasts as you do. It just depends on my mindset and where I am. But I love The Armchair Expert. Dax Shepard. I love the way he is. Again, I feel like it's always a conversation I'm just peeking in.
Right.
Or like I'm over here listening to them going back and forth, and the people he gets to interview. Now, I know that doesn't happen right away. I mean, he's been doing it for, is it 7-8 years now?
Oh, yeah, so
It's been a while.
well conditioned with it.
Well, the types of guests that he has on are people that I'm interested in hearing about. It's musicians, which any kind of music, I love listening to their backstory. Hollywood stars, love their backstories. Because if I'm reading too and I'm not listening to a podcast, I enjoy memoirs or autobiographies or biographies, and I like listening to the backstory of how somebody got to wherever they are. So, and I like it, not just Hollywood and musicians, but I mean scientists. I guess a lot of them are Hollywood.
So what's your favorite one he's interviewed?
Oh my gosh.
Would you say between like musician and Hollywood, like who surprised you the most with their backstory?
Surprised me? None of them surprised me, because it's like, that when you're in the limelight like that, your life is a mess. And you're covering it up constantly,
Sure,
right?
sure.
Like, or people expect you to cover it up because you're supposed to be perfect. The whole perfection thing has been interesting to me probably for the last decade. Because I grew up thinking that I had to be perfect. And everything in life for me, I always think that I have to be this perfect thing. And I think in listening to some, the people that you have interviewed, and then even before, when I was your patient and the things you've told me, stress has so much to do with what you're feeling and going through, and I mean that physically. I don't mean mentally even. I mean like gut issues. I used to perform on stage. I did dance for 20 years, and I did show choir and performances like that, and I remember like having diarrhea. Like I had to run to the bathroom before performing, and I was like, well, that's weird. That's something I'm not telling anybody. But
well,
also,
especially like 20 years ago.
Yes.
Right?
Right. We weren't talking about all that stuff.
No one was talking about that stuff. Sharing any of that.
And growing up, my family doesn't like to talk about anything, any ailments, anything they're going through like that.
Right.
Nothing medical, nothing too personal. So I'm sure that kind of fed into the whole, rising above and being perfect.
Right.
So over the last 10 years, I've been undoing that. Let's undo that. We don't have to do that. And the more I undo it, I think, the better I feel. Now, I'm also getting older and other things have come up, but...
Well, you're probably happier, too.
I think.
Right.
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Well, I mean, I think you and I were raised very similar. And I don't know if it's a generational thing that our parents wanted to have that perfect persona with their kids.
Maybe.
Because, I don't know. I wouldn't think of pushing that perfectionism onto my kids these days.
No.
Like, I just want them to be outdoors. I want them to be happy, do what they love, and be close to God. Like, top priorities.
That's it. And let's talk about it. I want to talk about everything because
Right.
I feel like I didn't talk a lot growing up, and
No. You didn't check in.
I have some anxious boys in some regards, and some of the things they do or how they retreat from situations, I see in the way I did things as a kid. And it breaks my heart first, but then second, I'm like, we can work through this together.
Right.
So I share with them, hey, I understand how you're feeling because I used to do that too. And they always say, you did? Yes, I did. I was a kid too. I'm not not this perfect, which is the way I think I still see my parents as these perfect examples, but they're not. I mean, I'm as old as my parents are in my mind's eye now. Like, to me, my parents will always be 38. I don't know why. They just always will. But I'm that age now, and I realize I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea. I'm just reading and taking in information and trying to put my own path together. That's it. And that's what they did, too. I know that. I know they didn't know what they were doing because that's ridiculous.
None of us do.
No.
We're all faking it till we make it.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, and I just want less fake, more authentic in everything I do.
Right. Well, don't forget, too, there's that epigenetic component with your kids inheriting that reaction, too.
Of course, Miss Scientist, healthcare professional.
So it's not just them seeing.
No, it's not.
It's... or just how they're feeling. It's truly some of that just is genetic.
Yeah.
I even noticed, like, some of my mannerisms, my mom would always, like, how would she do it? Like this? With her hand? And then I go to do that, I'm like, oh my god, I do not want to do that. Like, no, because it drove me nuts.
That's so
But,
funny.
like, yeah, those traits, like, we can't help it. We
No.
do inherit some of that, or from our grandparents, you know?
Yeah.
So that's cool that you're starting to unravel
Unravel it.
to heal.
To heal, yes.
Yeah. And I think that's what our generation is trying to do.
I do too.
Now that we're aware of all of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think everybody's kind of reaching for more authenticity.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it was funny. I don't think I even told you. So last week, speaking of family and genetics, my mom fell.
Oh no.
So my mom's 82. Right? My dad had Parkinson's. She took care of him against all of our better recommendations. And for years, I tried to get them to move up here because, you know, they built their house. They're still on the farm. Like,
where are they? I'm sorry.
Youngstown.
Okay, yes.
So that's like where they're comfortable. And I get that. But now that my dad has been gone for about 2 years, my mom's still taking care of chickens. She's doing all of this stuff by herself, living alone. So last week she fell. Poor thing. She fell in the chicken coop, broke her arm, dragged herself halfway up the gravel driveway, and laid there overnight.
How far away are your brothers?
We're all 3 hours, 3.5. Yep. So 3 of us are in northeast direction, 1 of us is south. Yeah. My aunt, who lives at the end of the driveway where my grandma used to live, noticed that her garage door was open. It's like, oh, that's weird for Shirley. Like, she's usually not up at 7 a.m. And found her in the driveway. And my mom was pissed that she called the ambulance because she's like, just get me in the house. Just get me in the house. Clean me up. I'm fine. So she was just a bear in the
Mhm.
hospital,
Mhm.
like not wanting to be there, not wanting to be taken care of. She had surgery. She's doing great. Refused to do assisted living, so is now home, and we all have care coming in to take care of her.
Good.
So she's doing better, but it's that just accepting that new phase of life, right? Or just knowing that you're a little bit weak.
Yeah.
So she, she's very stubborn. So, but she kind of inherited that from my grandmother.
Yeah.
So like when I am stubborn, I notice that with my husband. I'm like, okay, let's just take a step back.
Take a step back.
Let's like reassess and like try to break that cycle.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's hard.
Crazy. But I remember because I FaceTimed her last week and she was kind of being mean to one of the nurses, just asking questions, you know.
Yeah.
Why am I getting this blood work done? And I'm like, Mom, just let her do her job. She's like, Heather, I'm like, you should be a little bit nicer. She's like, Heather, you don't know what I've been through. I'm like, I understand that, but like her whole life. I'm like, that doesn't give you the right to be mean to other people.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like sometimes with that generation too, they justify their actions. They're like, I was just doing the best I could raising you, or you don't know what I've been through. And I'm like, well, let's just take a step back and think about that.
Yes. Would the you who is hopefully healed react the same way to the nurse?
Right. Yeah. So anyway, she's doing better, but that was interesting.
Oh, Mom. Oh, my gosh. I just don't like this. I'm not accepting this new phase.
It's hard.
I mean, we're starting to take care of our parents. Maybe you sooner than me. I just, our neighbors are all elderly, and we've been helping too with some of our neighbors recently, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Well, we're in that age range, and I got a message from one of my high school friends, because she has ones that are out of school for the most part.
Okay.
And she's having menopause symptoms. I'm like, oh, no. Like, I just had a baby.
Yeah.
You're in perimenopause, and then we have some friends that are grandparents our age.
Yeah.
So, like, we're in that weird age range where, how do you navigate that?
Yep.
You know?
Great question. I don't know.
There's no handbook.
There is no handbook. I think having good people in your life, sounding boards.
Right. For sure. Not keeping it bottled up.
Yeah.
Talking about it, not pushing it under the rug.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope everyone has at least a couple sounding boards, whether it's their partner, friends, coworkers, somebody.
Right.
You need good sounding boards.
Oh. Absolutely.
Can't figure it all out by yourself.
No. And talking about it, you know.
Yeah. Being open.
Yeah. Being open, looking for help, looking for ways to not overstrain yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
Which
with
happens
that perfectionism,
easily.
not trying to do everything, be everything.
Right.
So, yeah, sounding boards are important.
Mm-hmm. So I have a gift for you.
Oh, yeah?
It's sort of a gift for you and I think our listeners.
Okay.
So I'm surprising you with it.
I love it. Okay.
I'm very excited.
Love it.
I'm so excited.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Do you read it?
Non-toxic. Look at that. That's so
I love
cute.
it.
So they had this there?
That at Hand and Home
my
Co. on Main Street. Yes.
How appropriate is that?
So I thought you should have one and we should give one away.
We should. That's great.
I know.
That's great. Love it.
And it's so soft.
It is really soft. You know, and I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older, or I'm a mom now of 3. I love hats.
I know.
Like, just
throw
put
it
them
on. Hats and hoodies, man.
Oh,
That's where it's at.
I love hoodies. I still have hoodies from like 20 years ago, but they're so
Which are the
broken
best
in.
ones. It's hard to find good hoodies now because
It
they're
is.
so stiff and starchy and
Oh, it's so comfy.
Yes, I'm obsessed.
They're
I'm obsessed. I think they're so cute.
That's great.
With
Our
your
listeners
long
will
hair.
love that.
I know. I'm excited.
Perfect.
So that'll be something fun.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I couldn't resist. It's so you. Non-toxic.
Non-toxic. Cute.
I know.
Did they have any other clothes there?
I think they had a few other hats that were also cute.
Cute. I'll have to
Obviously,
check them out.
I've gifted you some of her goat's milk
I
lotion.
love her goat's milk lotion. Flynn always brings that and wants a back rib at the end of the night.
Oh, that's the best.
But it
Oh,
smells so
I
good.
love that kids want that.
Yeah.
And boys.
Boys.
I love our lovey boys.
Yeah.
Boys are nice.
Boys are sweeties.
I don't get the girl side yet, but, you know.
It's fun. The
I
girl,
know.
it's fun. It's fun to dress her up.
Sure.
But she's a little drama.
Yeah.
She's a little drama,
That's
like
okay.
mom sometimes.
Mm-hmm. She stands her ground.
Yeah. I told Colin the other day, I'm like, I wasn't thrilled to have a girl because I'm the only girl, but now,
Yeah.
like, that God gave me a girl, I can't imagine having any other girl than her because she is Miss Independent.
Yes.
She's not a snuggly little thing. She'll
heard
snuggle
that
on her own
about-
terms.
Yeah, on
But
her own
she's-
terms.
Oh my God, she's so cute.
And I love that she's sandwiched now between brothers.
Perfect.
They're all going to take care of each other, but also brothers will take
Yeah.
care of her.
But anytime you need a girl fix, let me know.
Oh,
I'll
I
send you
will.
over.
Yes, I will, and I will let you know because I've already done that with my neighbors. They went homecoming dress shopping.
Oh,
I got to go.
I love that.
It was fun just to be a fly on the wall and give her, when she asked me for advice, I'm like,
Aw,
wow.
I love that.
I know, it
It's
was
fun. To
fun.
be girly.
It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get to escape.
Escape all the boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're great too, but it was fun.
Good. Well, thank you. Thank you for this. And
You're
yeah,
welcome.
their lotion's fantastic. I'll have to check them out again.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
fun. She always has new things in there because it's sort of the whole apothecary thing. So not everything is stuff she's made. She brings
Right.
in local. They have some really cool jewelry. I think it's a new artist she has in there. I could be wrong, but anyway, some newer stuff that I thought was kind of cool, like half moons, and I don't know.
Cute.
I really liked them.
Cute. I'll have to pop in there.
Mm-hmm. It's fun.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I'll have to do this again next week.
Okay. Let's do it. It's so funny. I help with another podcast, and they had me go on, and I'm like, what is this new trend with me going on? I'm supposed to be behind the camera.
Sometimes it's nice to deflect, not have all the attention on you.
Yeah,
Have different energy come in.
I like energy.
Yeah.
I like all the different energy.